Talk Kim. I am so excited to be with you today. Man, I am. So y'all know that I started a new singles group at our church, Limitless Church. So for all of you that don't know, I pastor Limitless Church right here in Atlanta, Georgia, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Every Sunday I'm in the building 10 and 11:30. And we just started a new campus downtown, which we call the ATL campus. And we do that pop-up once a month. And so in May, we are doing a link. I call the singles group Linked Up. And it is LINQUP. And I just felt like for so long that for some reason, I became single about 4 years ago. And I was like, man, people act like being single is a disease. And I just felt really encouraged to start drawing singles into like once a month we get together. So May the 20th, we're having a link up at a Pache Cafe in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're gonna have two shows, 6 and 9 o'clock. And you can register right now at limitlesschurch.live underneath the itinerary. Get your tickets. It's gonna be so much fun. I've got comedians, I've got DJs. It's gonna be phenomenal. So anyway, in our last Linked Up meeting this past month, I took questions from singles. And I want to do a podcast on that today because y'all know I talk a lot about singles. I talk a lot about getting prepared for relationships. And y'all know that I've put my foot out in that dating world in the past 6 months and going out on several dates. And like I'm talking one week, went out on 3 dates with 3 different people. And I've never done anything like that because I've always been married. I was raised in a religion that said, you get married. That's what you do. And you have kids and you get married young. And so that's what I've always done and never really worked on Kim. And so today I'm going to answer some of these questions just about relationships, about singles, about dating. So for all of you that don't know, I am Real Talk Kim. This is my Real Talk Kim podcast channel. And you can find out all you want to know about me by going to realtalkkim.com. I also have, every week I'm preaching somewhere. And so you can find out I'm going to Fort Worth, Texas. I'll be in North Carolina this month. I will be in Anderson, South Carolina this month. I will be in I'm coming all kinds of places this month. So you can find out my itinerary by going to realtalkkim.com under the itinerary and get all the dates and come. I'll be in Muskegon, Michigan next week. So y'all just get in the building. It's so much fun to be in a building of one of the events that I'm doing because you leave charged. Like this is great, but in the building, it's just different. And so today I'm going to get into these questions. We're going to chop it up. You can go to realtalkkim.com, find out all you want to know about me. While you're at it, why don't you subscribe? Just go right there underneath and subscribe to my podcast, wherever you're listening to this from. Go subscribe. Push that subscribe button. Share it with somebody. Share this feed with somebody today. Because I believe we can never get enough information about relationships. And I think it's cool coming from somebody that can tell you how to mess up a relationship and how to keep a relationship. Because the one thing that I have done is I've gotten very, very, very good at relationships. I refuse to waste my hell. So make sure you subscribe right now. Make sure you share this with your friends, family. Share it on your feed. Share it on your social pages. You can also, while you're at it, leave me a review because those reviews are what lets people know that don't know me out of the 8 billion people in this world. It lets them know that I'm a good podcast to listen to. And y'all, I put in a lot of work for these podcasts. I get a lot of, I study these podcasts to make sure I'm coming with good information that'll help you. So we're not just talking about being broken. We're talking about also how to get healed. So I'm going to send this over to a commercial, and then I will be right back, and we're going to chop it up. Real Talk Kim here, and I love you. Welcome back, everybody. I am so pumped to get into this because y'all know relationships is one of my favorite things to talk about simply because God created us for relationships. Like, one will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000 to flight, and God did that just for us, right? And it's so crazy. Y'all know I just turned 50 in August. I can't even believe it. I'm about to be 51 already. Like, I don't know if it's just me or is life flying? Like, it is flying by. I'm about to be 51 and I don't even know how to stop time. But anyway, I turned 50 and I was really like right before you're about to hit a big milestone like that, you really have moments where really talk to yourself like, I'm 50 years old. Do I like where I'm at? And I remember about 3 weeks before I turned 50 years old, I was sitting in my room and I was just thinking about, I can't believe I'm about to be 50. I was thinking about how when I was a little kid, I would always think 50-year-olds were about to die. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to be on AARP. And I was struggling. And in that moment, I started thinking about my life and I started thinking about how I've got everything. Like, y'all, God has really blessed me in the last 10 years. Like, I've got incredible friends. I pastor one of the greatest churches on the planet. I've got the greatest staff. I do very well financially. I make money in my sleep. I just write books, got master classes. I get to coach the greatest inner circle. And I was just thinking about all the great things, right, that I have and how blessed I am to be 50 and a single woman out here crushing it. And I thought, but the one thing that I want, which every woman wants, and I don't care who you are, you can say all you want to me. I don't want no man. I don't believe you. Like, I was her. Like, I went for a very huge, after my divorce 4 years ago, I was devastated. Like, I never dreamed in a million years that I would find myself in this scenario again, right? Been married 18 years from my son's father, and then I wait 4 years, 5 years, and I met someone on Facebook, and we get married, and we lasted 8 years, and then sin creeped in and destroyed that marriage, and I was just devastated. I was like, I'll never get married again, and I literally focused my whole life on just getting better. Like, I just threw myself into ministry, and I'm fine never getting married. This was telling myself I'm fine. I never even thought of getting married again for those 4 years. Like, I was just so busy. And I have a great life. And then I started going out on dates like a crazy girl. And all of a sudden I started realizing, oh my gosh, this is something I want. Like, I want to get married. I want to, be best friends with somebody and get to do life together. And so laid in my bed, 3 weeks before my 50th birthday, I was thinking the one thing that I don't have, I have everything else in my life. I am so overly blessed, but I don't have that protection. I don't have that best friend, somebody to wake up to. And I really at that moment started praying. And I'd been dating somebody for a minute. Like, I'd gone out on, a couple of months with somebody, and I just started praying like, God, if this ain't the one, then let me let it go. Like, I don't want to mess up my life again, but I want somebody that you want me to have. And I mean, began to pray that crazy prayer. Well, anyway, that one ended. And then I just started dating several different people and going out on friendly dates and loving it, right? And so in that process, I created the Link Up singles ministry at our church. And it's not just for our church, it's for the world. Like, people fly in for this once a month. And so these questions came. And so I want to answer some of these questions on here for all of you that are dating again, for all of you that are starting over, for all of you that are in relationships already, and you're just doing a sucky job at it because, relationships are God's idea. And the devil really, really, really does not want us to succeed in them. And if you get the wrong relationship, it can really delay your future and your destiny, right? And so one of the questions was, what is the most important element to a relationship other than God? What is the most important element to a relationship other than God? And I would say communication. Communication, 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 communication. Communication kills assumption. When I think back to my relationships that ended, a lot of them ended because I would shut down, or he would shut down, or we would hold grudges, right? And when I look back now, I just think, gosh, I'm a communication freak now. Like, if I even have a thought, y'all, even if I have like a thought come in my head about something, I'm going to communicate about it. And if the relationship that or the person I'm in a relationship with isn't good at communication, we're not going to work, because communication kills assumption. If you don't learn to communicate in a relationship, and it's all about delivery. Like, if you ain't getting nowhere with your spouse, or you ain't getting nowhere with this boy you're dating or this girl you're dating, you got to stop and ask yourself, how is my delivery? How is my delivery? Am I coming at them all sort of angry in crazy ways? Or I believe that you should always give yourself a second before you communicate sometimes, right? You're like I'm the type to be like, look, right now, that just hurt my feelings, and I could be being petty right now, but I love you enough that I am willing to go in another room and pray and breathe, because I don't want to make a permanent decision on a temporary emotion. And so, I mean, I know people, y'all, in their 50s that have just started dating again, and their relationships are up and down. Y'all, when you're in your 50s, you should not be in a relationship where y'all fighting every other day. Like, you should not be wasting your life in a relationship where y'all fighting and fickle, and you're 50. Like, what are we even doing here, right? We shouldn't still be players. We shouldn't still be slipping in people's DMs. We shouldn't still be expecting unfair expectations on people. Heal. So I think the most important element to a relationship other than God is communication. You must have good communication. And I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going out with somebody right now, and this dude communicates. And he is like, I need to know. I need to just know. First person I've ever dated like that, where he's just like, I need to know everything. Like, I don't want to be down the road in a relationship with you, and all of a sudden I find out something about you big that you didn't tell me about. And I realized that there's a lot of times we tell people only things we want them to know, because we're afraid that what if they don't like something they hear about me, and then all of a sudden they leave. Good. Because if they can't handle all of you and all of your past and all of the secrets that you've been holding on to, then they're not the one for the future, because you cannot marry somebody or be in a long distance relationship with somebody or long-term relationship with somebody and them find out something down the road and feel violated because they feel like they're now married to a fraud because you didn't tell them. So communication, talk it out and do it in love and watch your delivery. How do you handle, here's another one. How do you handle a new relationship where things are leading towards sex, but you want to stay holy and pure? How do you handle a new relationship where things are leading towards sex, but you want to stay holy and pure? Do not put yourself in situations where sex is available. Go to the movies, go to a restaurant, right? Don't be in your bed watching a movie. Like, in order for this not to happen, because you are human, your body wants sex, especially when you are attracted to somebody, okay? When you are falling in love with somebody, you want to share everything with that person. And if you are trying to stay pure and holy, do not put yourself in a position where y'all grinding on each other, right? Don't put yourself in a position where all of a sudden you are throwing your morals out when your morals clearly says, I want to stay pure and holy, okay? This is something between you and God. And so you and your boyfriend, you and your fiance, whatever, y'all need to communicate about these things, because it's going to take both of you, right? It's going to take both of you to say, I want to stay pure and holy. And can we do this? Yes, we can, if we're grown and don't put ourselves in situations where this can happen. All right. So how do you handle a new relationship where things, because y'all, even the best Christians on the planet want to have sex. Okay. So I don't care if you are quoting scriptures every day and praying every day when you are falling in love with somebody. Yeah, you're human. And so you just got to watch it. You just can't put yourself in situations. This is why I don't even believe in dating for a very long time. Like, if you know, right? So what are y'all even doing out in these streets dating for 10 years? You can't stay holy all that time, because you're human. Like, you know. There was another one in here that I really loved, and it was talking about courting. And it says, the question is, do you really think that the Lord calls us to date, or he honors courting more? Because dating is not featured in the Bible. So I looked up the difference in dating and courting, and dating is when you're getting to know each other. Like, you gotta date. You can't just go right into a relationship with somebody, and because courting is when you get family involved, when y'all are going towards marriage, right? Now, I ain't playing around. Like, I know I've been out in these streets dating several people, but it ain't like, I ain't gonna do that forever, right? You gotta date in order to find somebody that fits, right? Fits into your life, somebody that's different, somebody that's out of your type. That's what I'm doing. I need you to be out of my type, because my type didn't work, right? And so in order to date, dating is when we are going out and you're sitting across the table from somebody and you don't like the way they eat. You don't like the way they tell stories. You don't like that they're boring. The dating process, which probably takes, for me, maybe a month, right? And then after that, I'm gonna know, because I ain't wasting my time. I'm 50. I ain't getting younger. I ain't gonna be wasting my time on somebody that ain't going in the same direction as me. So you gotta date first so that you can decide, do I wanna marry somebody like you? Right? So dating is what you do when you find out if y'all mesh. Y'all like the same things. Yo, I'm going to tell you something. One of the biggest situations that I found in relationships that ruin everything is y'all busy catching feelings and you don't like each other. I'm going to tell you something. Them feelings are fickle. And so if y'all don't like each other, like, you got to like each other. Like, you got to, when you mad at them, you're like, man, I don't like you today. I don't even want to love you today, but we best friends. Yeah. So I gotta like you. I gotta like your presence. I need to like the way you laugh, and like the way you think, and like the way you walk, and like the way you hold my hand, and like the way you kiss me. I need to like the way you look at me. I need to like the way you respect and honor me, right? That's what dating is for. And then courting is when you decide, this dude I'm gonna marry. Like, I can marry this guy. Yeah, we mesh. But how you gonna know if you don't date first, right? And so you gotta pump the brakes, right? Don't fall in love so fast. Get to know each other for at least a month. Spend a lot of time together for a month, because y'all trying to figure each other out, right? And if you're already dating somebody and they don't make time for you, like, I'm gonna tell y'all, if I meet somebody and we go on a date and then I don't hear from them for a whole week, we ain't talking again. Like, I literally am not wasting my time on somebody that can go on a date with me and we laugh, and I'm 50. How many times I'm gonna tell y'all that? 50. Like I don't have time. I wish I would have been this girl in my previous relationships, where I would have been intentional about getting to know somebody, like being intentional about liking you and not just falling in love because you were a financial plan for me and my two sons, right? We didn't even know each other. We had nothing in common. So talk, date, go on dates, watch his actions, watch her actions. And if they can go forever without texting you or checking on you, they are not the one. You are wasting your time. Because when somebody goes out with you, they see, oh man, and they'll know it after the first 2 dates. They're going to know, man, I don't want nobody else to get this person. I'm about to step up. Yeah, because even a person that ain't ready will get ready for the one that they like and they love, right? And so dating, yes. Somebody asked me, do you pray and how often? I pray every day, all day long, all throughout the day. I walk and pray. I'm in my car, I'm praying, and I pray under my breath. Yo, I'll be walking through Shandaraboboko. I'll be like speaking in tongues under my breath, okay? So I pray continuously, pray without ceasing. It's just in your head. It ain't even that deep. Just God, I love you, man. Thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for trusting me with this life that you've given me. Thank you for trusting me to be the mama to my boys. Thank you for trusting me with this job. Thank you for trusting me with this podcast. Thank you for trusting me with this church. Yeah, thank you for trusting me with my cars and my money. Yeah, thank you for trusting me with this body that I get to go work out and pump weights and keep it healthy. Yeah, that's all you got to pray. Pray like that. Somebody else says, if you are interested in a female, why take so long to engage? Well, because everybody's different. Everybody goes through life. Some people have been so hurt and so broken in life that it takes them a little bit longer, right? Men are scared of rejection too. So I have a whole lot of guy friends. And so I was in Baltimore celebrating one of my friend's 50th birthdays, and I was sitting at a table with 7 good-looking men, and none of them were married. All older. Maybe one was married. And, I mean, they're all like 45, 46, 47, good-looking men, and they weren't married. And that's a problem, right? Especially because I need you to at least been married. Like, if you're 50 years old, you ain't never been married, why? What is going on? I told my mama, I was like, I ain't marrying nobody that ain't been married before. I need to know, why ain't you married? You selfish, right? Why are you 50 years old and you ain't never been married? Right? At least you were. Somebody wanted you, right? Even if y'all didn't work, at least somebody wanted you in your life. So I was sitting at the table, and I love all you guys. If y'all are watching this, I love y'all, but why ain't you married? Why ain't you married? But they were talking about how women, if a woman is with a group of girls, they're probably not going to come up and talk to you because it's so intimidating, right? And I have a girlfriend that is single, and she goes and eats by herself all the time because of this. She meets somebody at least once a week. She'll meet somebody incredible and go on a date, because men will not approach a woman most of the time if she is in a group of girls. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, a lot of women want the man to make the move. And so they're like, but what if we get rejected, right? And so the reason a lot of gorgeous women are single, a lot of them that are really good women, is because they don't give the presentation, like they aren't looking at a man. And I mean, they literally took me on a whole coached me that whole dinner, and they were like, when a man walks by you and he looks at you, you look back at him, and y'all keep your eyes together, and you do that to him, and you smile at him, you let him know, I'm available if you want to talk. Y'all, I promise you it works. I promise you it works. I'm dating somebody right now, literally, that worked. Like, the most incredible guy, sweetheart, totally different from anything I've ever dated. And it's because I met him at a restaurant. I was out to eat with my mom, my brother, and my sister-in-law. And this guy walks by, and I'm like, he is a beautiful man. But he was looking at me, and I looked right back. And we didn't talk. But then we saw each other again and again. And the third time we talked. And so you got to present yourself. You got to learn how to be confident in your body language, and you got to smile. You got to make eye contact. But I think so many times in life, especially as women, we were raised that men make the move, right? But how are they going to make the move if they don't feel like it'll be reciprocated? So try that. Try that the next time that you are in a public and you see somebody, because y'all know I tell y'all the story of my mama, right? So my mother, we were in the airport, and y'all know Mimi's beautiful. She's 75 years old, and I think she would like a man friend. You know what I'm saying? And because she was married for 52 years to my daddy. And so we're in the airport, and this gorgeous man that kind of favored my dad, but he was small like Mimi. And we're on the tram, and all of a sudden, I am noticing Mimi's fidgeting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on with Mimi? And I looked, and this man is literally staring at Mimi. And I said, and you know me, I said, Mimi, this man is flirting with you. And she did this. She went, and looked out the window. She wouldn't even look at this man. She's looking out the window on the tram, and there's cement. There ain't even nothing to look at. And I said, Mimi. And he said, all of a sudden he spoke up. He said, Mimi, we got about 10 seconds to meet before this train ends. And Mimi just kept looking out the window. And I said, what in the world, Mimi? How you gonna meet somebody? We get off the tram, and we're walking up the stairs, right? The escalators are going up. Y'all, this man is still staring at Mimi, and she will not make eye contact. We get off of the escalator. He gets off, turns around, and waves at Mimi, and she looks the other way again. And I got in the car and I said, Mimi, that man was putting himself out there, and you just literally ignored him. And she said, I was so scared. I don't know how to flirt. I said, he was flirting. All you had to do was let him know I'm available. I'm telling y'all, that's all you got to do. Don't be scared. What do you got to lose? You know you want to go out and get dressed up. Yeah, get dressed up, have a man dote over you, have a woman dote over you. You know you want to have a spend the night party with your best friend every night for the rest of your life. So in order to get that, you got to allow all the sadness from past relationships that didn't work out. Put it behind. The Bible says forgetting those things that are behind and moving forward. All right? Is that a deal? Y'all, this is fun. I got a whole bunch of more to go through, and we don't have a whole lot of time. We may have to make another podcast just about this. In fact, I probably will. I probably will continue this the next podcast, but I'll throw some marriage questions in there as well. But for the second, I got another question we're going to come back and talk about, all right? And so I'm going to throw this to a commercial, go get some popcorn, share this podcast, subscribe, and I'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This has been such a fun podcast for me because I love answering questions. When people put me on panels, I love those panels. But for all of you that are catching this right now, maybe you've been sent this broadcast. I am Real Talk Kim. I am located right here in Atlanta, Georgia, and subscribe to my channel, man. I always come with some heat. We chop it up each week. I'm raw, relatable, real, I'm transparent, and I usually use my life to help you with yours. All right. So today we've been answering questions about relationships and singles. And I want to go back to this one because I feel like that I didn't really answer it real well. If you were interested, if a man is interested, why is he taking so long? And I just want to ask you a question. Like, what is your body language? What is your vibe? You know, what is your heart saying? Because a lot of times we walk around bleeding on people that didn't cut us. You know, we literally are believing the lies. I remember one of my exes used to tell me all the time, you are so not funny. Like, the only reason people are friends with us is because of me. They just tolerate you. Like, he would tell me that all the time. And I lived my whole life with walls up because I felt like he was right. And so I was so afraid of being rejected by those people that he told me didn't like me, right? That I wouldn't even give them a chance to be connected to me, to be a part of my life. And they missed out on a great girl. And I remember after we got divorced, people were like, oh my God, girl, you are the funniest person. People tell me all the time, you could be a comedian if your preaching doesn't work, right? And all those years, I lived in the feeling of the lies that he told me. And the only reason he told me those lies, y'all, was because he was broken. Like, hurt people hurt people. But healed people heal people. And sometimes you don't really realize how toxic the air is until you get out from under it and you can breathe. And so, my question to you is, are you do you look soft? Are you hard? Are you walking around thinking, your wealth and you being an alpha female is you the gift that keeps on giving? No, you ain't. Like, it doesn't matter how much success you have. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are. It doesn't matter if you're in the gym working your butt off. It doesn't matter if if you got 12 abs. If your heart is ugly, you're ugly. You just gotta ask God the hard questions. And I ask God the hard questions all the time. Like, God, if there's something in me that is going to sabotage the gifts that you've created for me, help me fix it. Help me heal. Help me let go. Help me think right. Help me become the woman that you want me to be, right? Because y'all, truly, marriage, relationships, friendships, they all are a gift to our lives, but our insides, our heart posture, our head posture is literally what draws. You don't attract what you are, what you want. You attract what you are. And so today, realize that sometimes a man's taking longer because he ain't ready. Maybe he ain't ready for no commitment. Maybe he ain't ready for, it doesn't matter how good of a woman you are. If that man ain't ready, he ain't ready. And so sometimes you just over here trying to have a Build-A-Bear manufacturer, trying to get people to love you that they ain't supposed to love you. They ain't your person. And so stop giving CPR to dead situations and go on out here and live your best life. Get in that gym, work out, build you some muscle. Get on that treadmill, work out. Get your life together, man. And you watch you attract exactly what you need because you're healthy and whole from the inside out. Y'all, I love y'all so much. I've had so much fun on this podcast with you. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for sharing this podcast. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for, y'all support me so well. I'm so thankful. So thankful for all of you. Thankful for your support and love. And I am Real Talk Kim, and I hope you got blessed with this podcast today. I'm going to see y'all next week. All right? Stay strong, stay healthy, stay happy. Happiness is a choice, and it's your choice. I love you guys.